Welcome to Becoming Saiyans.
A Dragon Ball rewatch podcast.
And we're back. I'm Truman.
And I'm Jesse.
And this is Becoming Saiyans, a Dragon Ball rewatch podcast. On today's episode, we watched episodes 75 and 76, titled The Strong Ones and the True Colors of the Masked Man. The Strong Ones came out in Japan on August 19th, 1987, and in America on November 22nd, 2002. Meanwhile, Colors of the Masked Man came out August 26th, 87, and November 25th, 2002. So they took a couple days in between on this one. Probably, it might have probably fallen on that Thanksgiving. If I'm thinking like end of November, could have fallen on a Thanksgiving. I don't have my calendar from 2002, but it's a possibility.
If it's within the last 7 to 10 days of November, it's in that Thanksgiving area.
Yeah. Goku and Grandpa Gohan's fight is expanded in the anime. We're on differences from the manga.
Yeah.
The loons, which I guess is ducks. I thought they were ducks. Maybe they were loons. I know those are different kinds of birds, but I haven't played Wingspan yet, so I don't know what the difference is.
We need to play that.
But they don't appear in the manga. Baba snapping at the fighters to stop procrastinating is in the manga, and Baba doesn't give account for Goku in the manga. And then trivia for the episode is, in the manga and the Japanese anime, Gohan praises Goku for being able to dodge the Kamehameha. In the English anime, he thinks it aloud to himself. It was probably an error due to Gohan's mask not making it clear. After Goku blocked Gohan's kick, Gohan was amazed, and a drop of sweat can be shown on the mask, despite being a mask and not his face. That's kind of a funny way of putting it. It's like, yeah, there was a sweat on the mask, like he was sweating on the mask.
That stuff happens all the time, though.
Yeah,
that's like funny joke.
Yeah. Jumping into differences from the manga in the second episode, in the anime, Emperor Pilaf is shown testing out his machine while Shu is on the monitor. In the manga, the machines are not seen until they're used against Goku later on in the show. Bulma, Yamcha, and Puar tear up seeing Goku reunite with grandfathers only in the anime, and they do not do that in the manga. In the manga, glosses over Bulma telling Grandpa about Goku, the Dragon Balls, and their adventure, but in the anime, there are several flashback scenes. For trivia, this is the second time that the tail has been cut off on Goku, and it later grows back in another episode coming up.
Yeah, as it did the first time.
Yeah. Not counting when Goku was just a baby, this is the only time in the entire anime or manga where Goku, either as a kid or an adult, broke down in tears. The flashback to previous events in the Japanese version has the song Dragon Ball Denetsu playing without any dialogue from Bulma. It's the only time the song is used in the entire English dub, whereas the previous moments were excluded if not replaced with characters talking over what was originally silence. During the flashback where Bulma is telling Gohan about their quest for the Dragon Balls, she says that Goku begged her to come and get the Dragon Balls. This is false. What really happened was Bulma asked Goku to come along and help her gather them for her own wish, with the lie that he'd get the 4-star battle back afterwards. I wasn't going to point it out. It just seemed kind of in line with what she would do.
Yeah.
But that's all the trivia we have. So, previously on Dragon Ball, the epic fight between the Masked Man and Goku rages on. And the Masked Man seems to just be testing and toying with him for the most part. He even pulls out a Kamehameha to see how he handles that. But along the way, Roshi is thinking, man, this is really suspicious. Oh, wait, it's Grandpa Gohan. How did that happen? He's back from the dead. Goku doesn't know, but everyone is thinking how cruel it is that Grandpa Gohan is smacking Goku around by the tail. And eventually, the tail snaps off, and then Grandpa Gohan gives up, and then reveals himself to Goku. We have a very nice, emotional scene where they get to reunite, and he gets to tells Grandpa about everything that's been going on, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful scene, honestly. And we find out in the B plot that Pilaf and May and Shu are back, and they have the 7th Dragon Ball in a case that cannot be tracked. The radar cannot break through. And that's what you missed on Dragon Ball. Jesse, go for it.
I really enjoyed watching this fight. It was really fun. Even though it was kind of fluffed, as you said, it's the expected fluff when you have a big plot fight where you're like, okay, well, we don't want this to be over in one episode. We gotta stretch it out a little bit.
Yeah. You can't have like a one episode fight for this grand finale
Yeah.
of the saga.
Yeah, it's
Well, not of the saga, but of the
of
tournament.
of this small tournament arc. And also, it's the first real serious fight where like Goku is challenged. That's like not over immediately.
Yeah.
Since
The
thing that
Jackie
you-
Chung fight,
that you
the
messed
Jackie
up.
Chung fight, and the tournament saga.
When we brought it up together.
No, I don't know what you're talking
he said
about.
Roshi.
No.
I wrote
nope,
it down in my
nope,
notes.
Nope. Jackie Chung fight.
Trimmer messed it up. He said
Nope,
Roshi fight.
Jackie Chung
he
fight.
said Roshi fight.
The Jackie Chung fight.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Jackie Chung fight in the tournament. And like you're not just gonna finish because that fight took about the same amount of time.
This is
about
about a full episode with a little bit extra.
Yeah, a little bit extra in
Yeah.
the next episode. I think.
Yeah.
Like him blowing up the moon
Was the end of one
like,
of the episodes.
Was like cliffhanger. I
Yeah,
think.
because we thought he killed Goku, and then it was like, no, he
Yeah.
blew up the
If
moon.
we remember right.
Yeah.
To be fair to us, that was
Months ago.
That was months ago.
Yeah.
That was months ago and many episodes ago.
Yeah, a lot of stuff has happened since then. We've slept
We have
since
slept since
then.
then.
But yeah, I love these episodes. In case you couldn't tell by my, by my recap, you probably can figure out what my favorite part, my best part was in these
Yeah,
episodes.
it's the reunion.
Yeah, the reunion is it's perfect. You know?
And you know what? Just gonna get that out of the way. I'm gonna give that to you, but
Yeah.
we'll figure out what I pick later. But like these episodes are awesome, and I love them, and I love also seeing like Goku be challenged again because it's been a while since we've been like
Yeah.
even when I was making my predictions.
You thought like
last
Goku
time.
was just gonna win.
Like I was like, well, Goku's gonna win. I kind of knew.
I wouldn't even
Goku's-
say Goku won the fight.
that's
Gohan
what
lost the
I
fight.
know. I
you
knew Goku was gonna win and figure out where the Dragon Ball was. That
Yeah.
was obviously where the plot was going. That's the only reason why I predicted Goku to win. But
Yeah.
I did know going in. I was like, he's gonna be challenged because it's his grandpa. I didn't think his grandpa would like be testing him more than fighting him, like he actually ended up kind of doing.
Yeah, that was one thing that I had forgotten was part of it was Gohan. It felt like like Gohan knew that Goku was eventually going to need the fortune teller at some point, and he because we find out in the end of the second episode that fortune teller Baba can go back and forth between the two worlds, which we'll get to. But my point about that is that Gohan came to her and was like, "Hey."
Is this going to happen?
Do you think that you're going to run into this boy with a tail?
Well, it seems like you phrased it more in the way of like he knew she could see into the future, so I think it's implied that she knows who all of her clientele are going to be that come to her.
Yeah.
And so he basically just asked her like, "Hey, is he ever going to be a client?"
And she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "When he is, can you break me out for a day?
Can you pop me out for a day?
I want to see him.
I want to be a part
I
of
want
the
to
fight."
I want to fight him." And she's like, "Okay." And he didn't tell her that I want to see how good my grandson's gotten.
Well, apparently he didn't need to because she was just like, "Fine, that's fine by me. You're a good fighter."
You're a good fighter.
He's not going to beat you, surely.
Yeah. How can you beat somebody who's dead? This is the
Yeah.
ultimate ace card.
Which is funny that she uses that ace card twice because technically the mummy is also dead.
Yeah. And Goku beat both of them.
Yeah, go technically beat both of them. Technicality.
Yeah. One
On
thing.
a surrender.
Getting back on the track with the episode, one
Yeah.
thing that I saw a lot was they replayed 3 times, so many times in these episodes. It was it almost lost the appeal of writing it down because it happened so many times.
It happened so many times, but it's also I think they were doing that because they only do that when it's a big hit, and
Yeah.
it was kind of showing no one's really
they're going blow for blow here.
pulling punches here. Yeah, no one's weakening out, I guess, or chickening out on the punch or the hit or the kick,
Yeah.
or when he jumps so high into the air that it plays.
Yeah.
I guess it's like Gohan jumps so high in
Yeah.
the air and plays 3 times, and
Yeah.
it's fun It's fun being able to talk about the just a singular fight and then the fluff at the end.
Yeah. Because these fights were great. There were a lot of acrobatic moments from Gohan, which is kind of crazy because he's old and dead. But he had some crazy acrobatic moments.
He's got the Roshi going on where he's just super.
He's
athletic.
old, but he's athletic as all get out.
Classic old master. It's like the thing that Splinter pulls out every now and then.
Yeah. And then just the fact that they were going blow for blow,
Yeah, I wrote at the very at the beginning of the episodes very even fight, and then Gohan got a couple good licks,
And Goku
knocked
got a
Goku
couple
down a
of good
pig,
ones,
down
too.
a pig. I'm like, oh, never mind, and I'm like, never mind again because Goku's coming back at it, and it's just they just kept giving it to each other.
Yeah, they just had it had such good choreography. Like that's the part. Like I knew it was coming. Like I knew the emotional part is the part that I really enjoyed, and I knew it was coming. I was waiting for it, but honestly, like I thought I was going to think these episodes were more negative because like I was waiting for the the emotional part. But these the fight was just so enthralling. It was like I can't wait for the emotional scene, but I also am enjoying the crap out of watching this fight because it is like just insanely good.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say besides just the animation, the choreography of the fighting.
The way that they
moves,
staged it and shot it was just great.
Shot it and there goes.
Well, I mean, in animation they do. You have a camera, like even though you don't have a camera,
you're animating from a camera's perspective.
Yeah,
but
so the shots, the way they set up the shots for their camera, quote unquote, is amazing.
The way they storyboarded the animation,
yeah,
and then we're able to execute it so perfectly.
Yeah.
I would love to send compliments to the animators. As negative as it's going to sound, probably a decent amount of them are either really old or in a grave somewhere, sadly.
Yeah.
Because that's just how old this animation is.
But it was great. And then
but to the ones that are alive, and you may ever be able to see this, like you guys have knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, I can't say enough about how good the choreography and the animation and the way that the fight ebbed and flowed.
And I think a lot of it is like a lot of this choreography is set up by Akira Toriyama.
Yeah, because it does feel like there's a lot that they took from his from the manga.
Yeah, it's a big part of animating a show like this that is like based off of also like a manga or if you're animating a comic book movie like for Spider-Man or whatever, is taking the actions from the page and doing it justice in the animation form. Yes. And they have it seemingly to me very few points where I can complain about the animation so far at all in this show.
Yeah,
I can barely even remember one or two.
Yeah,
moments of that's kind of choppy. That was rough.
And
most of that's
the movies, there were some bad parts.
Yeah, the movies,
especially in that first one. But in the second one, it had some good parts. It was mostly pretty good.
Yeah,
but
it's like, and when you can look back, it's like I can barely remember anything. It's like that means they're doing a really good job, and especially for how old the animation is. I mean, this
you can tell there was a lot of heart and dedication put into it.
You can tell everyone who was doing this wanted it to be as good as possible.
Yeah.
But also, I think that might come because I don't know exactly the process to how this got turned into an anime.
Yeah,
we're
saying this all without the advanced knowledge.
We're saying this all without going into full research yet on what happened with this.
Yeah,
I'm sure Toriyama was in the room a lot of the time, being like, "Okay, I want it to look like this.
Yeah,
I want it to look like that."
And he definitely had some sway over the added stuff, the elongated stuff, the stretched out pieces, how he would want it to look to make it ebb and flow the way that he wanted it to ebb and flow.
Because there is limitations to how much space you can waste on a page versus how much space you can waste in an animation.
Yeah.
That's why you get a lot of, this is anime exclusive. Well, it's because it's like he probably wanted to put the stuff like that.
Yeah, he wanted
to.
But
you only have so much space in the limited amount of pages you have to publish every week or month or however fast he was publishing back then.
He only had maybe two panels that he could put the Pilaf stuff in. He didn't have time to show the cool robots and everything.
Just a flash over to Pilaf, or
being like, "This is where the Dragon Ball is," so that the audience knows while the gang doesn't yet. Yeah. Just like that B plot type of thing.
Or we don't know when it was inserted either. It could have been inserted after they found out about it. It's like, this is actually who it is.
Yeah,
you never know. Sadly, we haven't read the manga. Yeah. This is not a podcast of us reading the manga. This podcast of us watching the anime.
Yeah.
Though
if I could get it on the cheap, I would do it. It just the problem is because there's a big anniversary for Dragon Ball this year and all that stuff. It's hard to get a hold of the whole set, especially the set of the OG one from 40, almost 50 years ago now. It's very hard to get a bunch of to get the whole set.
Yeah,
and so that's part of the reason. Other part is I read comics, and swapping from comics to manga is hard because everything's backwards, and it makes it hard. I know that's first world white people problems. Yeah, but it does make it difficult when you go from reading comics, because comics and manga are very similar.
Reading any book.
Yeah,
any book to Japanese.
Yeah, but
books.
the way it works is like with comics, you can follow the panels the way they're supposed to be. They're laid out, but everything's completely inverted. Like the panels are inverted and stuff, so that makes it very difficult to read. And I know that's white people problems, but like,
instead of reading left to right, you're reading right to left.
Yeah, it's just hard to keep up with.
Yeah,
but I love the mid-credit break where it's like to go on just wipe his son off or grandson off the face of the earth with the Kamehameha. No. They replayed it 3 times. The music swells, and it's like I told Jesse before it happened. I was like, "Here's the commercial break," and then like immediately cut to commercial. Yep. But I love that like Goku's able to use the after image, and it catches Gohan off guard. He's like, "Wow,
ooh, you mastered that."
He's got a good handle on this, and that's when you kind of find out that Gohan's like testing him. He's like he's trying to see how strong he is. He's not really trying to win this fight.
Which I should also say, like, we knew it was Gohan going in. I think anyone who is paying attention to the context clues throughout, the last episodes we watched in the podcast and all of these episodes knew it was Gohan probably before even the end of 75.
Yeah.
Probably honestly knew it was Gohan from the moment like we stopped at 74.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, it's probably Gohan.
And if it took you a little bit, like
you figured it out before the reveal.
I would say probably about the time the Kamehameha happens. Like that's where you're like, this has to be somebody.
Yeah, because even the person that like we know Roshi trained is the Ox King. It's obviously not him.
Yeah, it's obviously not the Ox King. And
like, Chi would be on Goku's side right now, cheering him on.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like, Roshi the whole time being like, he's really reminding me of someone. And then we see the Kamehameha, and it's like, well, we only know of like 3 people in the universe that know it.
Theoretically 3 people.
Possibly.
We've actually never seen the Ox King
4.
Pull it out.
Yeah, possibly 4.
Yeah.
Like, and it's, that it definitely comes off as like, we at this point, if you didn't know, you know. Yeah. Like Gohan or Goku doesn't know it yet because he's in the middle of a fight, so he can't really think.
Goku's using all of his processing power on winning the fight. He's not using the processing power on thinking, which he doesn't use processing power a lot on anyways. But no offense to the guy, he's kind of just in he's relaxation mode until it's like, oh, I gotta lock in.
He's kind of a dumb guy. I don't mean to say that in a bad way. He's wise, but he's dumb, if that makes sense. Like, he's wise for his age.
He's emotionally intelligent.
Yeah.
But actually the easiest scam target imaginable, as long as he doesn't figure out you're scamming him.
Yeah. And then I thought Goku had won. Did you think he had won at that point when he had him on the ground? Because I think while we were watching it, you're like, and this is where Gohan reveals who he is. But then he pulls the tail grab move. And we had a couple of moments where we thought we were about to get, like, Goku was about to get Loki slammed from the Avengers. And then it finally happened. And Jesse and I were cracking up the whole time.
I wrote a puny alien.
Yeah.
I think we cracked the jokes like, this is for stepping on me as an ape.
Yeah. I'm getting my lick back. Nobody disrespects me like this. I'm going to smack you here.
It's like,
and there. And there.
What's like the initial, like, intent? Was the main intent, I guess I should say, to teach him, like, you gotta control your weakness of your tail. But there's probably a little bit in the back of the head, I'm like, this dude stepped on me as a giant monkey. I kind of want to get a little lick back.
Yeah.
And that child abuse lasted for a really long time.
Yeah, that because it started at the end of the first episode and went through at least half of the second episode.
It's like, is it a justifiable, like, length of time at the end? Because it was like him doing that for so long is why the tail ends up ripping off.
Yeah, because it did feel like it was kind of like stretching for time,
but it really did drag on.
It paid off because it did break the tail, and that's like then Gohan's like, yeah, I give up. Like, that was my only chance, was to just keep beating you to a pulp with the tail. I wasn't ever going to win this fight. I was going to give up eventually anyways, but now that the tail's broken, that's an easy...
I just don't want to get punched
easy out. Yeah, I don't want to...
I want to go back to the other world...
With my brunettes.
And not have a black eye.
Yeah. Somehow, Gohan returned. Was my first thing from the...
I just wrote Palpatine.
Yeah, it's such a Palpatine returns, like the scene from the... Because at that point, they hadn't explained it. And I'm pretty sure Roshi even says, I don't know how, but Gohan returned. And it's like...
Gohan has returned.
Yeah.
No, it's like he literally says it's like somehow Gohan was returned.
Yeah, and it literally comes off like the Rise of Skywalker somehow.
Which just points out like how much that line has just melted everyone's brains in situations like this. Because like viewing it, it's you start to see more pop culture, and I've started to try to watch a few more like pop culture things. It's like, oh, you haven't watched this.
Yeah.
So like this is part of it, watching Dragon Ball, because it's such an iconic part of like people not even making the same genre reference Dragon Ball all the time.
Yeah.
So like I have a feeling that this line might be part of maybe giving too much credit to the people who wrote that Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Might be part of where they got that line from.
Yeah. I doubt it. I just think that they didn't.
Just
I
giving
have
them
my
an excuse.
I have my problems with the Rise of Skywalker.
That's a whole other podcast. That's a podcast that like if we set up a Patreon at some point, we might make a podcast.
The ramblings of Rise of. We'll rewatch it for you guys and tell you our opinion.
We'll rewatch the sequel trilogy and we'll record a podcast about. That'll be our first bonus podcast. Is we'll watch each Star Wars movie in release order.
Yeah.
And
tell you our opinions. It's been a while since I've seen them all, so.
I probably the more recently watched them because my partner had never watched all of them. So
yeah.
I watched them through with him maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah, for me it's probably been about 4 or 5 years now.
Which it just gave me a new appreciation. No, it's not the podcast, but gave me a new appreciation for like how good the first 6 are.
Yeah. The first 3, 2 of the, or 1.5 of the second 3, and about 1 1/4 of the third 3 are good. Yeah. And that's like cutting them up.
Like it actually,
I would even say like 2.5 of the first 3. There's a half of that of the last one of the first 3. Anyways, we're way off topic here.
I mean, I would just put it this way: it would come across on that podcast if we ever get a chance to make it. Really made me depressed about like how bad 8 and 9 were. Because I watched them and I'm like, man, this is actually like a really good movie. It just sucks that they just absolutely bombed the next 2. But we're not talking about Star Wars, we're talking about Goku.
I have my opinions about them. But yeah, getting back into this, the next thing I wrote down for the second episode was Pilaf from the Ganger Bag. Yeah. That caught you off guard. I heard Jesse went like, what? Like, oh, okay.
Somehow Pilaf has returned.
Yeah, we just like get them like checking out, like they get to turn on their TV and watch Goku. They find out about his weakness.
Yeah. Because I saw it go out to the satellite. I'm like, who's this going to be?
Yeah.
And then I saw, I just blanked on her name. I saw her pop in.
May.
Yeah. I saw May pop in the screen as it like started to cool down. And I'm like, they're back? Really? We got them again?
And those robots do actually seem like they could be...
They do seem kind of potential.
If Pilaf and the gang can use them correctly, those 3 robots could be something.
The key is if they can correctly use them. Also... Fun thing is like they're kind of launched into attack mode with the understanding that we can grab his tail. So that's going to be fun to see.
Yeah, because
be a fun prediction.
That was one of the fun things was that like Pilaf was like, well, now we know how to beat him. Like
I'm
not worried at all now.
Well,
he doesn't know we don't know where he's at, or he doesn't know where we're at. We know where he's at, and we know his weakness. So we have the element of surprise and his weakness, and both of those are gone by the end of this episode. But I still don't understand how the capsulization process works, like how you capsulize something back, because it feels like there's a button, but at the same time you don't see a button. They just kind of like touch the thing and it just like goes into the capsule.
And it could just be them like saving budget on not animating buttons all the time.
Yeah.
Or like if there's in a situation where it's something like that where you don't want it to just decapsulize out of nowhere or be easily decapsulized because you're inside of it like a transformer.
Yeah.
Maybe there's like a certain like quick like code or sequence you have to like touch with your fingers or something. Yeah, so like it's less likely that someone just randomly touches that while you're in and then you just die.
Yeah, I've been wondering about it because I've been rewatching it.
The science of this world doesn't have to make spits. You can suspend it a tiny bit.
I suspend my disbelief on it. This is me critiquing it, it's just me bringing it up because like we see like May like walk up and touch her robot and it just like capsulizes and it's like what, like so anybody could do that, like I don't understand what's going. Yeah, like what is this, that was I don't, it doesn't make sense to me yet, and I don't think it ever does because I've been rewatching. I've told you I've been rewatching some Super here lately.
Yeah. I mean, we have seen them press buttons in the past.
Yeah.
But those are on things where it's like
more stationary, like the house. But
Which I guess if someone wanted to steal your house and kill you, they could probably. Or maybe there's a sensor in those types of objects that have the buttons. Like, oh, someone's inside, you can't do that right now. It's like you can't fast travel while enemies are around.
Yeah.
It's like, but I don't know.
And then the last part that we get with the Pilaf group is them driving off, and then Pilaf being like, "Hey, did you pack all those yummy sandwiches?" And Shu being like, "Oh, those were for you." And he's like, "You idiot!"
Yeah.
It's like, oh, classic Shu. Classic Shu.
Now they're back. We're gonna have fun with them for probably the next 4 episodes, maybe.
Probably 4 or 5.
I might be probably till the end of the saga because we have 5? Well,
we have 5
we have
epissodes.
7 episodes.
Yeah, 7 episodes. Yeah.
Because we're recording 2 episodes tonight. Spoiler alert. To people wanting to know our time frame. So when we're done watching everything and recording tonight, we'll have 5 episodes left in the saga.
Yep.
Which is your warning that we have an extended episode coming up at the end of the saga because we're going to have 3 episodes in one.
We are already prepping for that being a thing. The next time we sit down for a double episode, if we do another double episode, it's going to be a 5 episodes for us because we're going to, instead of doing a 2 and 2, we're doing a 2 and 3.
Yep.
But that's not there yet because we have some stuff that we can gloat about, and that gloating is going to be about Roshi because Roshi, I can tell you a bunch about it, the way he's handling the situation. He finds out that Gohan is Gohan. And, I mean, it took him a while. It felt like he should have known it earlier in the episode when he figured it out. Because, like, he put it together, but he hadn't, like, fully verbalized it until, like, way later. When, like, Bulma's like, Roshi, you know something's going on
he put it together so fast. I was just like, dude, you know who it is. Like, you
but
already
he was
said
like,
it can
"There's
only
no-"
be one person.
And he's like, but there's no way. Coach, I guess, like, in his defense, like, as much he doesn't know if he knows.
He's never seen someone come from dead to alive.
So he's like, in his opinion, he's like, there's only one person it could be, but that person's dead. What the heck?
Physically impossible.
Yeah. But then we get, like, the sensei grind from him where he talks about, like, there's no way Gohan came back to beat the crap out of Goku and have him lose. We have to trust that Gohan knows what he's doing, even though it's very painful to watch him throw his grandson around and smack him on the ground.
Because for a lot of the end of
the first episode,
and then into most of the second,
about the first half of the second
episode. Like, everyone's like, man, we gotta help Goku. Come on, we gotta do something. Roshi, we have to do something. And Roshi's like, no one is leaving this spot until Gohan is done beating the crap out of his grandson.
He's like, I know this man. He would never do this purposely to hurt his grandson. He's only doing this to teach him a lesson. We gotta let the parenting take its course. Yeah. We have to be hands off in this moment. We have to sit here and watch Goku get the crap beat out of him.
This is not our lesson to interrupt.
Yeah.
We're not going to be a principal walking in for your evaluation right in the middle of a video essay or something.
Yeah. And then after that, like, eventually Gohan, it seems like he had more time. He was going to do it for a little bit longer. But then the tail snaps off.
Then, surprisingly, tails can break.
Yeah, he just snapped it clean off and then immediately surrenders.
He's like, I'm done. I don't get nothing else.
And Goku's like, what? Like, I win? And then he takes the mask off and shows that it's Gohan.
Like, Grandpa! And we have that amazing, like, emotional...
It's such a sweet part of the episode. And this is where, like, I gotta come in and just be like, it's nice to get this payoff for this, because the whole time we have not seen Gohan. Like, and I know we had him for these last couple episodes. But,
like, knew we had him.
Yeah, but, like, seeing Goku be able to be reunited with his grandpa... After all these years, or after about probably a couple of years at this point.
I think from where I'm led to believe,
at least
because he says it's a short time.
Yeah, it's been at least a year, in my opinion, because we had 6 months of training during the tournament saga.
Because I'm trying to put a thing here. So I assume he might have died maybe at most 3 months before Bulma found Goku. Probably less time than that.
Yeah. But then we have...
And then Bulma finds Goku, and then we take a couple, probably a couple months.
I was going to say a couple weeks to a month for the first time the Dragon Balls are used.
Dragon Balls, yeah.
And then there's a year after that.
And so
plus probably about a month of finding them the second time.
month or two doing all this other
The red
stuff.
ribbon and battling all those people.
So I mean,
Yeah, it's
maybe
probably
a year and a half.
been about a year and a half to 2 years is where we kind of land on it.
I'd say maybe a year and 8 months is a good
a year.
guessing
I would
point.
say a year and a half as the minimum, 2 years as the maximum.
Maybe we suck at math.
Yeah,
No.
but like that's my thought. Is like it's either like it's a year and a half to
Which,
2 years.
to be fair, for everything that Goku has like employed in this fight, is insane that he knows all of it so well
within the first like 2 years of
training.
being on his
Like,
own.
it kind of implies that like, yeah, Goku. You know, as we know, Goku is an anomaly, and this
Yeah.
man just has an affinity for just picking up fighting styles. Like it's nothing.
Yeah. But the moment for me is just it's sweet because like how often do you get those reunions in shows, right? Like I've watched a lot of TV and there's not very many episodes of TV where the character is motivated and like taught the sense of right and wrong and duty and everything from a master who's no longer with him, and he gets a chance to like go back in time or find some way to talk to him. And that doesn't happen very often. And maybe it's just me being like an emotional guy because like, you know, we had that kind of relationship with our grandpa.
Yeah.
And if there was by some way we ended up in a moment where we could talk to him for a little bit, we would be blubbering idiots just like Goku is here.
It'd be awesome to talk. I mean, it kind of. I mean, you see that theme in a lot of. I mean, what is it? Onward, I think is.
Onward, yeah.
Onward's a great
Man,
movie.
I called you after I watched it the first
Yeah,
time
you
and like
did.
blubbered like an idiot on the phone to you about that movie.
It's a big brotherly love movie, but it
Yeah.
also has the thing of, oh, they're finally being able to like see their dad for the first time.
Yeah,
That's like the entire. If you've never watched it, I'll say it's great, especially if you have like a brotherly relationship with your brother. I guess I should say.
Yeah.
It's kind of obvious on the nose.
Yeah.
And
or any sort of like familiar relation with
even,
like an
or like
older
sisterly
sibling.
relationship,
Yeah.
like an older sibling relationship.
Yeah. Well, one of you's the
anything.
older, one of you's the younger.
Or if you have lost a loved one, like
Yeah.
or even if you haven't, just honestly, if you haven't watched it, give it a try. It's awesome. I think it's been on Disney Plus for a while
since 2020.
It's a
Yeah.
Disney movie.
It's a Pixar movie. Yeah, it's there. But yeah,
That's
like it hit the same. Like this scene hit the same chords as that final scene in that movie, where it's like, the younger brother, like, he lets the older brother have a chance to go talk to his dad for the first time,
Yeah.
or first time in a while, and it hits that same thing for me is like, yeah, if I had a chance to talk to our grandpa one more time, like, I would be a blubbering idiot and be telling him everything that he's missed over the last decade plus.
Yeah.
Like
I don't think there's a single person alive who doesn't have someone that's no longer with them, like alive above the age of like 10.
Yeah,
Doesn't have a single person who's no longer with them that they were able to have a bond with, that they wouldn't, if given the chance to even just have a 30-minute conversation with, wouldn't pay you all the money in the world.
Yeah.
And all of the I'm just people would probably become Sisyphus if it meant they could talk to that person one more time.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's a feeling that everyone yearns for.
Yeah. Another one for me would be Dakota, as he's kind of on my mind.
I knew Dakota,
but like
recently.
this one hits more to my like a grandpa relationship because it's a grandpa relationship, and
it's a grandpa relationship. Like
you
got raised a little bit more by
him.
I got raised a little bit more by him than you did, because you got a couple years with a different grandpa.
Yeah. But it's still
but
like
we both got raised by him a lot.
Yeah.
Because there was a time parents were divorced, divorced when we were young.
And even before that, like we were over at his house like every weekend,
Yeah. And
so
then,
it was
and then also
a
there
lot
was
of
a time where like our dad worked overnight, so he would work a week on, week off. So like on the week that he's working, our grandma and grandpa would be over at our house, basically getting us up and getting us to school every morning.
Yeah,
making sure we get the bus. They didn't drive us.
Yeah,
but like, and so we were around him for a very long portion of our childhood.
Yeah,
I mean, you were around him until freshman year of college, because that's when it happened for you, and then I was there until freshman year of high school.
Yeah. And it really that's why it hit more as a grandpa, because it is a grandpa in this thing. So like it could correlate to Dakota, and so, like there's nothing I wouldn't give to have like a moment with Dakota, like pre all of the medical stuff that started happening in the last couple of years, where I could just talk to him, we could hang out,
like
and have a good time.
Dakota.
Yeah,
I guess is a way to say it.
But like for this scene specifically, it really had me thinking about our grandpa. You know,
especially with how fast it happened with him.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what it seems like it happened with Goku. Like he just woke up one day, unknowingly, the cause of it, and his grandpa was gone. Yeah. It's kind of how it happened to us, but just a little bit, an extra 24-hour period, I think.
And then, trying to get back on track with the episode.
Trying to stop being super sappy.
Yeah.
Not that that's a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, but just so because we could stay here for another 20 minutes talking about the good times with them. But I don't think people want to hear that, so we're gonna move on.
They might, but maybe not for that long.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the way they explained how Gohan came back, and it is like a thing that comes up throughout the show. I'm not to spoil it, but this isn't the first dead person who comes back to life. Like that by that means, of coming back from other world.
Who comes with a purpose? Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, I didn't realize how soon they brought up the other world and, like, the main world. They bring it up really fast. Like, I thought it was later on in the, in this first part, if not even, like, in Z, like...
I was like, no, it's as soon as you see Gohan, it's like, this is how it happens.
Yeah, this is how it happens. There's the main plane, and then there's the other world that's underneath this one.
Or above it.
Or wherever, it's...
That's the other world.
Yeah. And it's fun to like hear the explanation, and that's what it is. Like, and as somebody who's seen the rest of the show, like,
I also love how well they set up the rules of at least this occurrence of like coming back.
Yeah, if you come back,
I'm sure there might be other. I mean, I'm gonna assume because like the goalpost might move mattering on who is acting or not, but I don't know.
I'm going to tell you the only way people come back from Otherworld is the 1 day pass after they've earned it. Or the Dragon Ball's wished back. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that. Like, when you're in Otherworld, you're in Otherworld unless you gain that 1 day pass or the Dragon Balls.
Someone does what Goku's planning to do in probably the next
back.
7 episodes.
Yeah. But they explained it really well, and I love that they kept it, like, they keep this as, like, this is the rules. Like, if you're in Otherworld, you cannot come back except for 1 day every however many years.
That is a good thing to like get across, as like this is a great world building moment that sets up Dragon Ball. Is like, do this when you're building a world for whatever you're building, whether you're writing a book, D&D, anything. Yeah. This is a good thing. If something this powerful can exist, make sure it has set, benchmarked things.
Yeah.
And either there's like one MacGuffin that like makes it stronger, i.e. collecting all the Dragon Balls and wishing them back.
Yeah.
And if not, if you don't want to have a MacGuffin that does that, maybe just add a few more people in the world that can accomplish that feat.
Yeah.
Because so far, we only know of Baba. I'm sure there are maybe a couple other characters, and maybe there's a ruler of the other world that might hand out passes like for extreme circumstances.
We will get there.
But we'll get there.
But yeah.
Because that's kind of what happens a lot of times in these media.
I didn't expect it to be the rules to be set up, and these are the rules. Like, the rules that they set up is, like, if you're in Otherworld, you don't get to come back forever unless the Dragon Balls are used. But
that's a revive wish.
Yeah. I also love that Gohan is like, I don't want to be back here. Like, I love you, but like, and I love all of you, but you are so much past me at this point. You don't need me.
I might come back to give you like a cheer sometime later down the road, or come back if you're in a sad spot, you need some you need to pick me up.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm going to go hang out with these babes.
Yeah. And I love that, like, him and Roshi have the same, like, sense of humor on that stuff, where he's I got a lot of brunettes waiting back for me. And Roshi hits him with the save some for me.
Also, I do love the moment where Gohan comes up and is like, so what about the whole going ape thing? And Roshi's like, don't worry, I took care of that. I blew up the moon. And Gohan was just perfectly fine.
And Gohan's like, thank you. My hands are... That was the last question I had. Anyways, guys, I'll see you later.
And Goku's like, what you guys talking about over here?
Yeah. But I also love Bulma exaggerating the truth on what happened.
It felt
giving
so on par with Bulma.
Yeah.
Of like, me and him were both the heroes of the story. I'm like, Bulma, you did like 5 things.
The one thing you did that was important was you got Goku to come along with you.
And you have the radar.
And built a radar, yeah. Those are the two contributions you've had to
The
this
two
world.
major contributions.
Yeah.
You have had minor contributions here and there, like getting things back on track.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you did a radar and you got Goku involved. You did a radar and you got the main character of the story we're going.
Yeah, and then we just have a my last note is flashback episode, because it's just the rest of the episode is mostly the flashback.
Mostly a flashback and then some like
set up for the next episode.
Yeah.
I do like that Appa offers Goku the chance to bring Gohan back. Obviously, like, Gohan doesn't want to come back, and that's what seals it as like, no, it's going to your dad.
It's going to your dad, yeah.
But I love that Appa had the awareness to be like, how is it fair for me to ask for my dad back when his
Gohan
grandpa?
is right here.
Yeah, like, why don't we just let?
Because this is the first time everyone had known of Gohan. Everyone else had known of Gohan. Appa had never known of Gohan because Appa hadn't wasn't around for those conversations because Appa was the newest member of the party.
Yeah.
So Appa, like, the entire mission this entire time has been Bora, which does beg to make it like, how selfish is Goku that like his first thought is, oh, I'll just wish your dad back instead of being like, oh, I get the Dragon Balls and wish mine, and then in a year we can get Bora back.
So my thought on that is that he goes on a singular mission because of it immediately happening in front of him.
Yeah, that is the
Gohan doesn't cross his mind in that moment, because my thought process on it is that he has the same thought that I would have of like, Gohan's been gone too long. Like, how is he going to come back? Yeah. His body's decomposing. Where's he going to go? Like,
like if this monkey paws, it's going to look real bad.
Yeah, and it's not that like Goku's thinking like, oh, this is going to go bad, but he's probably thinking it's too late. Is kind of the thought there for me. It's one of those that like, if Goku had the chance to make a wish in the Pilaf saga, he would probably have tried to wish Gohan back. But now that it's been a whole nother year and some change after, it's like he doesn't have a chance.
That's a good way to think of it.
Yeah, it's like, and because this was so sudden, and Goku feels like it's his fault. Yeah. He's like, I've got to fix my mistake.
Like, I let this kind of happen to him in a way in his mind.
Yeah, because I wasn't strong enough to help him. Yada yada. Yeah. I couldn't even avenge him properly the first time. Like,
it took me an extra couple of days to like get back.
Yeah, we're going to save your dad. But yeah, and I love that Gohan just says like, no, my time's passed. Like, if I come, like, it's meta reading it. It's if I come back, you're gonna just not do anything. You're gonna come back and live with me and not go explore and get stronger. It's like
you're not gonna follow like your destiny in a way.
Yeah, because you're going to give up on it to be around me because you got a second chance and you're not gonna waste it. You know. Yeah. And so I'm piecing out because, first of all, I got a lot of brunettes waiting for me. I got out on good behavior, and that good behavior is because I'm strong as I'll get out, not because I've been acting nice over there. I'll head back.
Getting hot and dirty.
Yeah. But I don't have anything else to say except for I'm excited to see where the next episodes are going to go with Pilaf coming back.
I'm interested to see how this fight goes because
it feels like Pilaf is supposed to be more formidable now.
Like that entire group's supposed to be more formidable. Because it definitely feels like there's probably just 2, maybe 3 characters right now in the party. Because I'm assuming this is not Baba's fight.
Yeah, Baba is not coming.
Baba's not coming. So, and none of her monsters or anything are coming.
Yam shall be of help. Krillin will be of help.
I'm saying
Roshi might be of help a bit.
I'm saying there's probably 2 characters in the party who have like the guaranteed gumption to beat one of these robots. And it's Goku and Roshi. Because Roshi's the only one who's fought Goku to like a true standstill in the last like 20 to 30 episodes.
Yes. But it also feels like they built these robots custom made to take down the party. Like, to take down the crew. Like, they gave them super enhanced strength. They've got agility. One of them has
taking down the crew is just taking down Goku. So they custom built them to beat the only thing they couldn't beat in the party. Yeah. Because honestly, they can hold. I feel like Mei and Shu can hold their own against like Yamcha,
probably Yamcha, and like, maybe Krillin with the 1,000 wolves.
By just using the gadgets they kind of already had at their disposal.
Well, Shu has the wolf army we haven't seen. He just releases the Hounds of War, the 1,000,000 dogs under his control, and they just go and rip them all to shreds. But that's all we have for now, unless you got anything else you wanted to bring up before we jump in. So predictions from last episode is multi-episode fight. Yes. Goku beats him. That's the one I'm kind of like, I don't know if you count it as beating him.
Oh.
It's more like Gohan gives up. Is
On a technicality, by the definition of like what the fight was going for, Goku gets the rewards.
Okay.
But if you don't want to give it to me because technically he doesn't win as far as like knocking out,
Yeah.
or like arenaing his opponent or whatever,
Yeah.
ringing out his opponent. There it is.
Yeah.
Then
I wasn't sure
I'll
what
leave
your
it up to
thought.
you.
I wasn't sure what your thought on it was because it's like I think when the intent of it was like he's going to win the fight straight up, not like a
that
surrender.
was the intent of what I said. That's why I said like on a technicality, he got his reward, which was the objective of winning the fight, but
Yeah.
also like he didn't win in the traditional sense. He just he got the surrendered.
I'm going to go ahead and say that one was a no because the next one was that Roshi figures it out before Goku. That does happen.
Yeah.
Even though it took Roshi way too long to figure it out, in our opinion, he did figure it out before Goku did.
And Roshi's showing his age a little bit there.
Yeah, it took him
Man's
a
like
little too
874.
long to read the room on that one. And then we're moving into our next predictions for the next episode. I also counted off your last one of your predictions you added for the saga, which was that all of the fighters were going to be universal monsters.
Yeah, I would say
I think we can finally say clearly that is not the
Well,
case.
I think we cleared that off last episode.
But I was just making sure in case anybody had a question. So,
Yeah.
moving into the next two episodes, they're named Pilaf's Tactics and The Eternal Dragon Rises.
Okay. Well, I think it's pretty obvious that Pilaf's tactics is going to involve them fighting Pilaf Manchu.
Yeah.
Getting a big fight with the robots. I'm going to say they don't win the fight until the beginning of the next episode 78.
Okay. They don't win until the beginning of next episode.
Yeah, sometime in the first half of next episode.
Okay. All right. What do you think the Eternal Dragon Rises means, Jesse?
Well, I think someone's going to at least initiate a wish. We might not fully get the wish until
Okay.
79, the next episode.
Okay, they initiate a wish.
They initiate / make the wish, but
Okay.
I think we'll just say initiate because I know they're probably going to do that.
Okay. Any other predictions you got? I know one of your things is that the wish doesn't immediately work, and that's for the whole saga.
Yeah.
So do you still think there's going to be something if they're initiating the wish in episode 78? What do you think is going to be the drawback? I guess would be my question, just to try to tie them all together.
Maybe they have to go to Otherworld and ask Bora if he wants to come back. I don't know.
Okay.
Or maybe they have to wait for the Eternal Dragon to be like, "Hey, do you want to come back, bro?"
Okay.
That'd be my
Okay.
kind of throw something at the wall and see if it sticks.
Okay. I enjoy that. And so with that, we've got our predictions in, and so Jesse, I know it's a hard thing to do, but what is your worst part?
Worst part. I'm just gonna because of how much it annoyed me, how long it took Roshi to figure out what was going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's two things that annoyed me: how long the tail whipping, low keying of Goku went on, but that at least had a fun comedic value, and also it resulted in it went on for so long his tail ripped.
Yeah.
The Roshi one just was you could hear me getting aggravated while we were watching the show. I'm like, you figured it out 5 minutes ago, man.
Yeah, why
just spit it out?
Just say what you're thinking.
You're making a test. I was saying that the entire time, bro.
I for me it's the flashback because it's the only part that's extra padding. It's like they could have just done a time skip to them all eating around a table and him being like, "Wow, Goku, you've been on such a long journey." And no wonder you've gotten so strong.
But they also
so
wanted
quick.
to send him back immediately. So
Yeah.
and also that is the only anime exclusive part that kind of was extreme filler. Because it said, I think if you remember,
the other parts where they extended stuff, but this was they truly just added this because she basically just tells them we've been on a lot of journeys together, and we got the Dragon Balls and stuff, and then they're like, wow, and they move on. But this they threw a whole bunch of flashbacks, which I don't hate, but if there's going to be a part that is the worst part of these episodes, for me it's that because it's the only part that sticks out as bad. Not that it's awful. Again, if we're power ranking worst parts, this isn't very high. But it is the worst part of these two episodes, in my opinion.
Yeah, these were definitely
These were top tier episodes, in my opinion.
Yeah, these are very high.
These are up here with like the tournament saga.
These have some high highs.
Yeah.
And some very high lows.
Yeah, the floor is extremely high and the ceiling is also extremely high.
The floor is the roof.
Yeah. So my best part, not to beat around the bush, I'm taking it ahead of time. It's the emotional reconnection with Goku and Gohan. That's got to be it for me.
I think my best part, and this is me gonna give some credit to the animation, is when they're animating Gohan's Kamehameha, like the way the effects work in front of everybody in the audience is just like flying by them, and the way it's pulsing.
Yeah.
But like, and you're getting like small details of their faces behind it as they're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that looked awesome. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I just like small details like that. But like, I thought that looked awesome because, I mean, the entire fight's amazing. I'm not gonna cop out and say,
the whole fight.
16 to 20 some odd minutes of these episodes are the best part.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna pick that. Like, in the fight, I loved it bouncing around. I love when they kind of like when Gohan like bounces and does that. But I like the Kamehameha wave. I like his animated Kamehameha wave a lot.
My runner up is the choreography throughout these two episodes were pretty.
The fight
especially the first
amazing.
episode is great. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of bad to talk about with this. These episodes were very high on my list, especially getting them in the same episode. Like, is really great. If you're looking to get into Dragon Ball, there aren't very many better episodes to get in on than these two.
Original series.
Of this OG series. Like these two are pretty top tier in my opinion. Like, if you watch these and you're like, I don't really get it, you probably aren't gonna like Dragon Ball. I will hope you stick around and listen to us talk about it because we think it's really good. But like, if you want to get into it and you don't want to start at number one, these are great episodes to get you to know what's going on.
Because she also has the flashback about what's going on.
Where you get to see what's all happened too.
Yeah.
As much as that's my worst part, like it is like if you want to get in, this gives you everything that's happened so far.
Yeah. These two episodes.
You get to see everybody. Except for I think the only person we don't see is Launch of the main characters that we have, but otherwise everyone else is in those.
Yeah, because we see Oolong.
We see
Oolong.
We also haven't seen the Ox King or Chi Chi, but they're not really main characters.
And also, Bulma hasn't interacted with them a whole lot.
Yeah.
Same with Launch. Bulma hasn't interacted with Launch a whole lot either.
Yeah. But if you don't have anything else to say, Jesse, I think we're coming to the end of this episode. Thank you guys all for listening. I hope you download, subscribe, rate, and review. Leave a 5-star rating. We'd love it. Also, you can reach out to us at becomingsaiyans@gmail.com. You can also reach out to us on our Twitter, on our Instagram, on our TikTok, and on YouTube at Becoming Saiyans Pod. We would love to hear from you guys and get some feedback and anything we could do to make this better for you all.
Yeah.
So.
And coming out of the tumultuous last couple months we've had, it is being more active on there.
Yeah, I've been trying my best to be more active on there. But until next week, I've been Truman.
And I've been Jesse.
And the journey continues.
Bye.